So you can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. Hopefully, wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen to this in a still position, then feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. And just let yourself fidget, adjust, move in whatever ways intuitively feel good in your body. Not worrying about what the movements look like, but just fully coming into your sense of feeling and just allowing your body to move you in the ways it wants to. And if what feels best in your body right now is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like the right thing. There is no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move for as long as you need to. Even throughout this practice, if you need to adjust at any time, feel free to do so. And at any point, if you're feeling ready to come to that still position, then you may do so. Just feeling that the spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to let the eyes gently close, then you may allow them to close if they aren't already. And you can mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full and intentional cleansing breath. A long and slow inhale in through the nose and filling up to every corner and edge of you as you just hold that breath for a moment when you're full and really feel what it feels like to be full of air. And without straining, as you need to, slowly letting all of that go. Again through the nose and gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment and really experience that sense of emptiness. And allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. And so you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful to you. And releasing this guidance whenever that feels like what you need to do. You can continue to breathe in this exaggerated way for as long as feels helpful to you. And at any point, if you haven't already, you can simply release this guidance over your breath altogether as you step into that role of the observer, into that point of view in your awareness where you can simply watch as your body breathes you without having any impact over the rhythm or depth of your breath. Just watching as your body naturally breathes all on its own, just as it would if you were deep in sleep. Just reminding yourself that your body does function completely perfectly, all on its own, without any of your doing or direction. And your body is a force of nature, just like any other force of nature out there. And seeing if you can take on that same perspective you might have when you're laying on the beach and watching waves roll up along the shoreline. Just watching the waves as they come and go naturally. watching your breath as it comes and goes naturally. And just letting some awareness come now to your muscles, the physical body, and the muscles that exist in your face. And even with the eyes closed, just seeing your face in the position it's in right now. Noticing if there's any expression resting on the face. Noticing any emotions that could be communicated by the expression on your face. And seeing if you can invite in a little bit more softness in these muscles. And bringing your awareness into your mouth. Just allowing your jaw to hang into place. Allowing your lips to softly rest on one another. Allowing the tongue to release from the roof of the mouth. And releasing any further tension in the chin. Releasing tension in the nostrils or in the bridge of the nose. Feeling the upper jaw and the ears soften a bit more. As the cheeks release, the eyelids, the eyebrows, and the whole forehead. As the hairline just softens back slightly. Allowing that release to naturally trickle down the rest of the scalp. As you release the neck and shoulders a bit more. And maybe almost feeling this sensation like the muscles on the face are just hanging off of the bones slightly. Releasing back into the support of your skin. As you just feel a deep sense of trust with your own anatomy. Reminding yourself that there is nothing that you need to do right now. You do not need to hold anything in any particular way. This is not a doing or thinking process, but one of listening and observing. So just taking in whatever there is for you to take in. And feeling that softness from your face and head just naturally make its way down the rest of your body as the shoulders release down and away from the ears. As the arms soften, followed by the hands. And feeling all the muscles across the abdomen to soften. Feeling the pelvic floor release, lengthening and widening into your seat. The glutes and all the muscles down the legs as well. And even all the muscles in your toes and feet, in your fingers and your hands. As you just allow yourself to exhale into this exact moment, into this exact position that your body is in. And even if it's just for a split second, feeling a sense of acceptance with where you are, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in all senses of what that means to you. And reminding yourself that acceptance does not mean that you agree with it or like it or even want it to be this way. Acceptance simply means that you acknowledge reality. You acknowledge what is here. So even if there is pain present in your body or in your heart or mind, even if you're in an environment that is noisy or uncomfortable in some way, seeing if just for a moment you can release that resistance to the moment and exhale into a sense of acceptance with what is. And sometimes it can be really helpful to remind ourselves that whatever is right now, the only thing that we can count on is that this will change. And so knowing that whatever you are feeling is temporary can sometimes help us to actually feel it and not keep running away and hiding from the feelings. Especially if you are in a stage of life right now that feels difficult. Our mind can often fool us that this is the way it's always going to be. This is the way it's always been, and this is the way it always will be. And we are just in this tough place for forever, for the foreseeable future. But if you remember a time that maybe felt the opposite of that, where you felt really happy and connected and loved by everyone around you, and you're in a good, happy stage of life, the same feeling is true. It feels like this is the way it's always been and how it always will be. So the only thing that is true is that these feelings will change. And we can use that truth as a comfort when we are feeling in a bad place and our mind is trying to trick us that this is the way it will be forever. We can remind ourselves that that is just a feeling and it is not true. And the only truth is that things will change. And so you can feel whatever is here to be felt. You are capable of feeling difficult feelings and doing hard things. And it is temporary. So you can use that same exact truth as permission for you to fully soak in all the good things you're feeling and make the most of it. And release any guilt you might have for feeling good when the world is in pain. Or maybe if there's other people in your life who are in a hard position, but you're feeling good. Not feeling guilty about that and just allowing yourself to really soak in all that goodness and sharing that with the people who are in more difficult places. Making the most of it because it is also temporary. And also reminding yourself that no matter what position you are in life, no matter where you are physically in the world, we exist in so many different aspects. And we can be doing really great in one aspect of our life while simultaneously maybe another aspect of our life is crumbling. Maybe our health can be doing fantastic, but our family life is suffering, or vice versa. We have, our social lives, our emotional lives, our spiritual lives our work lives. We have so many different aspects of life that we exist on simultaneously. And so you are allowed to lean on the areas of life that are feeding you right now. If there's one aspect that is extra difficult, you can draw on the strength from maybe your spiritual life that is doing great, or your psychological life. Maybe you're in therapy and, having breakthroughs. And these things can be tools for us when we're in difficult places, maybe in our health life or work life. And so you can just let some attention come to wherever it feels drawn in your body. And if there's no place in particular, you can let your awareness come to your heart. But just really tuning into your own anatomy. Maybe if there's a place that is in a lot of pain right now, maybe it's really just calling your attention. And that resistance that we feel when feeling that pain can be that heaviest layer at times. So seeing if you can just exhale into the sensations in your body. And even if it's just for a split second, allowing yourself to feel exactly as you feel right now. Allowing for any emotional releases that need to come. Maybe tears, maybe laughter. And just tracing the space between your heart and whatever area might be feeling pain. Internally tracing that space through all the pathways of veins and vessels that actually do connect your heart to every inch of your body. Maybe even feeling your heartbeat in whatever area is in pain. Or if your attention is simply on your heart, just tuning into that unique rhythm within you. And just reminding yourself that having a meditation practice or any healing practice is not about eradicating everything negative from you or never feeling pain again, or just totally only focusing on love and light. But a true healing practice is one of acceptance and acknowledging what is. And so it is safe for you to feel the difficult things in life. You will not drown. You will not be crushed by them. But you are strong and capable of feeling hard things, of doing difficult things. And just because you bring some awareness into the more tough aspects of life, that does not mean that those aspects of life will grow and take over everything. It actually can loosen your grip on these things, because oftentimes that heaviest layer of suffering that we all experience is all of those should feelings. All of those feelings that say, or those thoughts in our minds that say, well, I should be feeling good. I should be grateful. I should be doing X, Y, Z. And if we can learn to notice when those shoulds pop up and assess them and notice if there's any value or truth to those thoughts. And then just reminding ourselves that whatever we are feeling is exactly what we should be feeling. because we are feeling it, even if those feelings are negative or painful. And the only way out of these feelings or onto other ones is through the ones that are currently here. Allowing these feelings to arise and therefore release, rather than stuffing them down deeper within us, where they will only echo louder and control us more insidiously. So when there are repeating thoughts or things that you're avoiding within you, finding yourself a safe place to allow them to arise and release, writing them down or yelling them into your pillow or whatever you need to do. And so you can just continue to feel whatever is here for you to feel as you just listen to the following words written by young Pueblo in his book Inward. So you can just allow anything that feels like it resonates with you to soak in a little deeper and not worrying about the rest. Self-love begins with the acceptance of where we are now and the history we carry, but it does not stop there. Self-love is an energy we use for our own personal evolution. It is a meeting and balance of two critically important ideas: loving who we currently are and simultaneously transforming into the ideal version of ourselves. Though these ideas may seem contradictory, they are both required for our ultimate success. Without acceptance, our transformation into a happier and freer self would be highly difficult, because it is much harder to change and let go of what we hate. Self-love helps us delve deeply into ourselves and release the patterns in our subconscious that impact our behavior and emotions. True self-love is when one understands that the inward journey is the path to freedom. That observing and releasing our inner burdens is what will make us feel lighter and more aware. Self-love does not grow the ego, it does the opposite. It is our ego that carries the craving that causes our suffering. The incessant craving that rests at the center of the ego is the ultimate block that stops us from achieving freedom. Your self-love is a medicine for the earth. As your self-love grows stronger, so do the waves of change that you can create. With self-love, we have the determination and courage to move deeply inward, using honesty as our guide. This inward movement transforms our being, dramatically enhancing our awareness of who we are, our understanding of the universe, and our capabilities as individuals. A beautiful result of this process is that our new sense of compassion towards ourselves does not end with us. It blossoms and flows outward into the lives of others and has the capacity, if consistently cultivated, to encompass all beings. This growing compassion becomes the centerpiece and active component of a love that knows no limits. Unconditional love for ourselves and others completely respects our sovereignty as individuals and honors our power by no longer allowing ourselves to be harmed by anyone. This limitless love also gives us new grace and clarity that help us see ourselves in all other beings and better understand where they are coming from. It gives us the strength to treat all with kindness and support, all in living lives in which they are no longer harmed. unconditional love can bring balance to our world. The clarity it produces can help us better understand the roots of harm and work to eliminate them so that all can have the external freedom needed to work on their own internal liberation. The greed and reactiveness that cause harm can be replaced with love as a primary motivator and responses of kindness as our principal form of action to create. This shift in our world, many will have to heal themselves deeply by doing their inner work, releasing burdens within themselves, and creating enough space so that their own self-love can breathe deeply and expand into unconditional love. As more expand into this field of greater egolessness, the world will shift with us and be significantly relieved of the greed that sits at the center of the imbalance that we currently experience. Our love as a humanity does not need to be perfectly unconditional to change the world. Every time our collective love grows, it creates a better future. So you can just take the next few moments to really allow everything that you've heard today to settle. And just trusting that anything you heard today that really resonated with you or struck a chord with you, just trusting that that feeling can come when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing those truths to be enhanced within you so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition. Trusting that you already know exactly what it is you need to do, if that's anything at all. And at the end of the day, you are your own best teacher. And there is not one person out there who will be able to teach you more about yourself and your own passions and purpose than you can. A quiet time with yourself can teach you. And so you never have to give that power away to anyone else. And if there's ever anyone in your life who tries to convince you that they know you better than you know you, or they know what's best for you more than you know, then allow that to be a giant red flag for you to, again, never give that power away. This is your life and your body and your soul. And this life is for you to do whatever you want to do with it. And so you can just let your attention come back to your heart if it's left. And if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can just let your hands come and find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you just feel this contact of your palms and fingers into one another, and allow your heart to lift toward your thumbs and your thumbs to press back toward your heart. As you just feel all of this power that is generated through you. You can take a final deep and full breath into the body as you fill up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. Just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. I'm bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.